Hey Taurus, welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your storyline or wavelength on this reading, check your other major placements. We're going to start off with the Oracle Mystical Moments deck for an intuitive vibe, and then we're going to move on to my new Apparition deck for a more traditional tarot spread. And some of you may have caught the Taurus reading that I posted recently, accidentally publicly posted it, and it had no sound. It's been quite a week of tech glitches. I thought they were all due to my old phone, so I got a new phone. And I also got 250 new passwords. And then, yeah, but it wasn't my phone, it was my lavalier mic. So we're unmiked right now, but hopefully we won't have to, hopefully that's for the best for now. So, treasured memories. Taking care of yourself in preparation for something. All right, so we have treasured memories. This is a beautiful card about the things that once brought us to life and made us feel really good about being alive, about being here, about who we were, and remembering those moments. And we can remember those moments, not necessarily, she's a little clinging to them. So maybe you might be a little clinging to them. But these beautiful memories and these beautiful, exciting moments and memories we have, they remind us that life can provide those moments again. Maybe not in the exact same way with the exact same people, but there's possibility there that lies ahead. And so it's very important to remember those things. So there could be something from your past that's on your mind, a really pleasant memory. Yeah, if it makes you feel good to remember it, remember it. If it doesn't make you feel good to remember it, just try to not, if you can help it. So then we have the Gardener. I was thinking about this card earlier today about, it's about taking care of ourselves and our own personal lives and our spiritual lives so that when we go out into the world, when we go, say, bring our goods to the farmer's market, when we go to our communities, our friend groups, our work, we're bringing a healthy, best self, an invigorated, robust self to these things, because that's what we're here to do. You know, we're all unique individuals, and so the care and feeding of your unique individual is absolutely crucial into what you bring into the real world or into the outer world, right? So you're responsible for what goes on here. You're responsible for your own little raised bed in the community garden, and you're responsible for the health and well-being of everything in that. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're consciously curating what we're spending time on. So our little plot isn't growing a bunch of mangy things, and none of which had enough room to grow and enough room to blossom. Our little plot, we want to make sure that we're curating what we are growing. We only have so much space. We only have so much time. So we want to be intentional about what we put in there. And maybe we do love carrots and tomatoes and cucumbers and corn, but we don't have space for growing all of that. So we're going to have to figure out, you know, maybe what we can get from somebody else, what maybe we can exchange for with our neighbor, but we've got to be careful about our time and our space and our energy, and making sure that we have, for the things that we have chosen to have in our life, we want to make sure that those things have everything that they need so that we can bring our best self out to the marketplace. So so this is about caring for yourself is caring for your community. Inner peace is an integral part of world peace. You know, so yeah, creating the world you want by sort of cultivating and curating yourself to be more in line with your overall vision of the world that you want. We also have Sea Witch here. Sea Witch is preparation, prepare. So again, I'm getting a lot of preparation, maybe curating time, curating what you're paying attention to, right? So not only is our time curatable and valuable and necessary to intentionally put our time resources into places that we want to, so is our mind, right? The time we spend thinking about things, also really important to cultivate and care for the garden of the mind, weeding it, making sure that the concepts and the ways that we want to grow, we're feeding those things, the things that we want, and we're maximizing that connection to the things that we want. So being happy, if that's something that you want to grow in your garden, and who doesn't, focusing on gratitude, focusing on being happy for what you have, and focusing your attention. We don't have to be, don't think about that. We can just be, you know what, that doesn't feel good to think about. I'm going to think about something that does feel better to think about. So cultivating that, what we're doing with our minds. And this has something to do with preparation. Like you've been preparing for something. This is emotional health and well-being too, right? Because we have a sea witch, we have this, she's in the water. She's enveloped in her emotions and her feelings and possibly her intuition. She has a little friend here. I like that. And she's got this little broken propeller. So, but she's playing, right? Play is how we learn. And she's goofing around with it, but she's definitely imagining the day when she can take that propeller, when she gets her hands on a real propeller and she can really go somewhere. She doesn't have a mode of transportation right now. She's just kind of hanging out here, playing, turning this propeller around, seeing how it works, seeing how it goes. There's a sense of in both of these, there's a sense of preparing for something to bring something public, or to be able to really go somewhere. Preparing for some sort of future endeavor, or future endeavor that's more, has a lot of contact with the outside world. Could be preparing for post-COVID interactions. So an endeavor that has a lot of contact with the post, so a job, a situation, you could be training or in school for a job and starting to get a little eager, a little impatient, right? She looks a little impatient to me. Like, I've been playing with this for a long time and I'm ready to take this puppy on the road. I'm ready to go with this. This is like, 3 months of rehearsals into a performance. You are ready to perform. You're ready to go. When do I get to be up there? When do I get my audience? When do I get to be on stage? So, but there's a sense of having cultivated yourself and having worked a lot on some sort of inner work or some sort of personal, private part of your life, and being ready to move forward, feeling ready to go public with something. All right, and now we're going to move to the Apparition Deck. This is a very abstract deck. I don't know if I've used it with you guys before. All right, Taurus, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. This is just fascinating. We have a lot of cups here. So this could be more relationship oriented, or it could be passion project oriented, or just emotional health and well-being, right? The cups don't have to be love. They can be any emotion, any feeling. We got this feeling cup here, and it holds any kind of liquid. It can hold wine, coffee, water, soda, gin and tonic. It can hold a lot of things. So we're talking about our feelings here, which we were already talking about. So in your recent past, you have Queen of Cups. This is a person. It could be you or it could be somebody else. This person knows how they feel. It's a very internal process. Like, oh my gosh, we like basically have a little vagina there. That's kind of fun. So this person knows how they feel. They're not necessarily talking about it. They're not necessarily moving about it. Look, we've got a little fish. We've got our little dolphin here, and we've got a little dolphin here too. Oh, look, and she's like playing, but this is like a Grim Reaper fish lady. Well, maybe we got a sea witch. Emotional. Well, it's emotional. We're deep in our feels here. We've been thinking a lot about how we feel about something. Maybe something from the past. Thinking, because this Queen of Cups also takes place in the past, which is this combo right here. These feelings about something in the past. Look, they're both holding things in their hands. This one's looking at the present situation, wondering when it's going to change. And this one's looking at the future, wondering if this past situation gets to reemerge again. So then we have this Queen of Cups in your past, this deeply felt emotions in the past. Maybe they went unexpressed, but maybe they felt very clear to you. You felt very clear on what they were. They could have been love, or they also could have been something else, another emotion that you felt very strongly and you were very clear, or somebody was very clear on how they felt, but they did not express it. It was very private, very internal. And then we have, in the current situation though, we have Two of Cups. We have soulmate energy, or I prefer to think of it as kindred spirit energy. It puts a lot less pressure on relationships to be the end all be all of any relationship you're ever going to have, right? This is a kindredness, a kindred spirit. And again, this has strong relationship vibes to it. Although you are solo in these first three cups, this does have this strong relationship vibe, but it can be also a passion project or feeling any kind of feelings, right? But this is a deep connection, a deep sharing of these feelings, being able to, having found something very kindred, heart of your heart. It could be a project, or it could be another person, and it could be just one conversation that you've had. You know, you meet these people and you have one really soulful conversation, and then life just swoops in and pushes you forward and moves you out of each other's orbit, and you just move on with things. But you got one really beautiful connected conversation. So that's a little bit of what's going on here. Current situation, there's a beautiful connection here, a heartfelt sharing of feelings, a heartfelt, there's a bond that's been created here, and an intertwining of souls. Have you ever watched Slug Sex? It's very exciting and interesting, although it takes hours and hours and hours, but you can find it on YouTube. It's not like totally salacious, but it's fascinating. They twist together, and then their sex organs come out of their heads, and they decide who's going to be what gender, like kind of in the moment, and then it's so interesting. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing with this Two of Cups, is some slug sex of this intertwining of the minds, right? They're the organs coming out of the head and intertwining. I'm starting to blush because I'm very private about that kind of thing, but it's beautiful. So there's some sort of heart of my heart, soul of my soul connection that has happened here. And is very enlivening and invigorating. And it might not even be romantic. Like slug sex came up, but it might not even be very romantic at all. It might just be a connection, connecting with somebody on a really deep level that's really exciting and helps you feel whole and connected to others in the universe. Because the Queen of Cups has a bit of a disconnect, right? She's solo. She's just feeling her feels over here kind of privately and not really sharing them. And now there's this sharing going on here that really connects her feelings to the larger world, her feelings getting connected to the larger world here, to something else, not feeling quite so disconnected or quite so disconnected or floating off in your own space here, right? But they're really connecting with somebody else here. Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, the Tower. You are worried. You're worried about a massive change, about something that's been structurally important to you, that's held you together, becoming destroyed. Oh my God, I love this card. Look at this. This House of Cards here, being reduced to rubble. But you know what that rubble is now? It's art. It's something new. It's transformed, and maybe it's the same shape, but it's totally transformed from something very structural to chaos. Something, chaos being created by an old reliable structure being reduced, being destroyed, being crumbled to the ground. This old reliable structure that's really provided a lot of context for everything, a lot of that you're worried about it being upended, power dynamics being upended, who's supporting who being upended, all of that, just a big massive change. You're worried about, is this Two of Cups bringing a huge change? Is this now new soulful connection bringing too much change? Is it going to be wild? Or maybe you're hopeful. Maybe you're like, this changes everything. I love this. This is so cool. You know, the structure in your life being, so it's your hopes, your fears, it's your inner landscape. This Two of Cups, this connection has you thinking about massive structural change to your life. Either worried about it, hopeful for it, but it's on your mind. You're thinking about it. What's at issue here is this Knight of Wands reversed. This is, so the Knight of Wands in the upright, the Knights are communication, the Knights are movement. What's at issue is there's no communication, but we have communication, and now we have no communication. We have no vision for moving forward. We have no momentum. There's this delightful connection and communication where you're no longer feeling alone. You've connected with something. It's very grounding for you, but there's also no communication. This is strange. There's no movement, no communication, no momentum. I'm just seeing no momentum to move forward. But what else does this Two of Cups bring except for momentum? There's just no movement. Maybe we've had a moment, but there's no place to go with it. We're worried it's going to destroy everything, but why when it can't go anywhere? It's not moving anywhere. There's no place for it to go. There's no momentum. There's no momentum. There's no momentum here. We've made this beautiful, heartfelt, deep emotional connection with this little fish figure, but there's nowhere to go with it. There's no momentum. We don't have the tools. We don't have the ability to move anything forward here. So in your external landscape, we have Knight of Cups. So this could be a person, male or female. This is somebody who is very emotional, is emotionally communicating. This is just, we have this Queen of Cups in your past, this private feelings that weren't shared. Now we have this shared feelings. And then in your environment, we've got a person, male or female, who is ready to move forward. So then what's the holdup here? What is this? We don't have some sort of structural, we're talking about the structure of our lives in the Tower here. We don't have some sort of structural support for the movement. There's no momentum, or there's no structural support. And that's why we're thinking about the Tower moment, like what in my life needs to change in order for something to move forward, in order for there to be structural support for the movement. Because there's these horses here. Horses are these are the knights, right? And just like in a chess piece, the knights are represented by the horse, the movement. Maybe this Knight of Cups doesn't know which way to go. Maybe this Knight of Cups is like, right, we have a Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups, and then they've come together with the Two of Cups here. Knight of Cups is going to be about communication, emotional communication. So you're receiving some sort of emotional communication. It might actually be a little bit confusing. You don't know which direction to go with this. Maybe that's why we don't have momentum, because nobody knows which direction we're going. But there's also a structural element that's missing here. There's the structure of your life doesn't support this connection. So we have this Knight of Cups. It's somebody coming in with some sort of communication about how they feel. Again, this could be positive feelings, negative feelings, or anger, love, anything. But someone's coming in with some sort of emotional communication here, ready to talk about something. But it might be actually a little bit more confusing. You might not really know where they're going with this, because where is there to go with it? So what's your to-do list? The energy where your greatest growth is, the energy you need to interact with is the Five of Wands. Conflict, open conflict. This isn't actually a battle. It's a conflict of ideas. It's a debate. Any type of conflict is going to have several elements, many elements going on, which is why I don't like it, because it's just too complicated conflict. We've got our subconscious issues. We've got, ostensibly what the conflict's actually about, the surface things that people get very involved in when we've actually got something below the surface going on. And then on top of that, we have certain strategies that our personalities are more prone to using to get these needs met, both subconscious needs and surface needs met, right? In a way, I see this, both the subconscious and the surface need to be attended to here. So there is a sense of open conflict, a discussion, an open discussion about subconscious issues, if possible. I mean, that's what's interesting is I feel like we've already had this open discussion, but this might be about something else. Now this is about strategies. This is about This might be with somebody else too, not necessarily with the people that, or the entities that have connected here with this Two of Cups energy. So again, it could be a job situation too, right? You could be really connected with this position, this job, really liking it. But there was some issues here. There's some strategy. How do we move forward? How does this, and some competing goals, competing desires here. There's some competition here of, you know, passions and what different people want, or different entities in this situation want out of the situation. So you got to have an open discussion about it. That's the Five of Wands. Open conflict, discuss it, talk about it, talk about the different competing issues going on, the different and being aware of subconscious issues and mental health issues and all of that. Just being aware of all the issues involved here, but also being open about them, and being open about competing problems or impulses, competing desires, that kind of thing. Like openly discuss these issues that are the structural issues, the strategy issues. They all need to be openly talked about. And then where you're going, a possible outcome here is this Ten of Swords. I like it. I always love this as a possible outcome. The end of a difficult, painful situation that may have gone on for quite a while here. We have dawn coming, we have healing coming, we have growth coming, and the situation stops stinging. It's like they run out of swords, or the situation just runs out of steam, or the situation, there's just nothing more to be done here. And so the painful part of this, and some sort of long painful process, is over. It ends. There's no more wounding, there's no more pain. It's just it's time for healing to come in, time for a lot of growth and a lot of healing to come in. The end of a difficult, painful situation. All right, Taurus. Well, I hope that you can hear that. Oh, please let this have audio this time. And I hope I'm able to post this throughout all the new technology I'm sort of navigating here. And I hope also that you have a wonderful 2 weeks.